Welcome back. So in today's video we will be solving board questions from the lesson shares and dividend. Now there are two more videos linked to this lesson. If you haven't watched those videos, the link is in the description below. Please do watch them to get complete clarity in this lesson shares and dividend. It goes without saying that if you watch them, you will have clear cut vision. You will be clear about this lesson shares and dividend. Now shares and dividend have been deleted from the boards a couple of years ago. This 2024 is the first batch post COVID which will be having this lesson again. Not just this lesson but locus, areas on similar triangles, certain other constructions, certain other topics that have been deleted, areas on similar triangles have been again included for this year, for this current year board examination. So let's get going with this questions from your previous year's board exams. Now this is a 2012 question. In this question it is given that a man invests rupees 20,020 in buying shares of nominal value 26 at 10% premium. The dividend on the shares is 15% per annum. Calculate the number of shares he buys, the dividend he receives and the rate of interest he gets on his money. So picking up the data is the key thing before you get solving with any numerical or any problem. Shares and dividend a little more because of the terminology. A man invests 20,020. 20,020 is the investment. In buying shares of nominal value 26, nominal value means the face value at 10% premium. Premium means the market value is above the face value. Above par, below par, at par. Above par means what? The market value is above the face value. Below par means the market value is less than the face value. At par, market value is equal to the face value. Sometimes the above par, below par are substituted as premium for above par and discount for below par. In this question it is given as premium and it is premium percentage. So it is important to know how to change the percentage to the value. Okay. So, and then the next part of the question is the dividend on the shares is 15%, which means D percent is 15% and you are asked to find number of shares, annual income or annual dividend and the rate of return he gets on his money. So, let's scroll up a little bit so that we get space to solve the sum. Yeah. So, now in this question, 1 minute, let me select the pen color. Okay. So investment is 20,020, nominal value is 26. So what will be the market value? Market value will be 26 plus 10 by 100 into 26, which is equal to 28.60. Now you can also find the market value directly using 110% of 26, which is also equal to 28.60. Whether you adopt this formula or this method, both is the same. Now the first question asked was to find the number of shares. Do you remember the formula for number of shares? Number of shares is investment by market value. Investment by market value, which is 20,020 by 28.60. 28.60. If you simplify, children, you will get it as 700. Please practice your calculations. Okay. Next is to find the annual income. To find the annual income, the first key step is to find D per share. That is the income per share or the dividend per share. The dividend per share is equal to D percent of FV, which is 15% of 26, which is equal to 3.90. Children, please remember, if you write it as 28.6, you will lose a mark. if this is your final answer and you get 28.6, if you fail to write 60, paise is always in 2 decimal places. There were numerous cases when we went for corrections and the child lost this mark unnecessarily. Do you want to lose your marks unnecessarily for small mistakes? No, right? So please be watchful, careful, and don't commit such simple errors or such silly mistakes and lose your marks. Decimal should be in second place when it is paise. Okay. So going forward, this is the D per share. Now what will be the annual income? Again, I'll scroll up a little. What will be the annual income? What will be the annual income, children? Annual income is number of shares, that is 700 into 3.90, which is equal to 2730. 2730 is the annual income. And the last one is to find the rate of return, or what was his percentage profit. Anything means the same. So this rate of return will be R%. Remember the formula, the very simple magical formula that is there to find the rate of return. R% into MV is equal to D% into FV. Only one key point you have to keep in mind is that you should not write the percentage as by 100. If you write on one side and leave it the other side, where most of the children make this mistake, R% they will leave it as R%, D% they will write it as 15 by 100. There ends the matter, your sum goes wrong. If you are writing 15 by 100 to the RHS for D%, ensure you write R by 100 as well. So I suggest you do not write percentage in this sum. Just substitute the values, that is enough. So what is MV, children? What is MV? MV is, MV is 28.60 is equal to 15% and FV is 26. Okay, FV is 26. So R becomes, again this percentage we are not, I have just shown you, do not write it as 15 by 100. That's the reason I showed like this. So R% is equal to 26 into only 15 by 28.60, which is equal to 13.6%. Okay. Simplest formula, children. Again and again I am telling you all, I am stressing on this because there are 3 different formulae. Of the 3 to find rate of return or profit percent, this is the simplest and you will have less chances of making any mistake. So the rate of return is 13.6% per annum. So let's see the solution. Yeah. Number of shares, investment by market value. Since we do not know market value, I showed with a question mark. That's how you get into your sum. So what is the first step? To find the market value. So market value we don't know directly, it is given in the form of premium percentage. So we find the market value as 26 plus 10% or 110% of 26. Then the number of shares. Then always it is important to find the D per share to get to know the annual dividend, and the last R% into MV is D% into FV, which is 13.6 question. So let's move on to the next sum. It is from the year 2010. Now, in this question, it says Vivek invests 4,500 in 8% rupees 10 shares at rupees 15. Very important to know this. Vivek invests in rupees 4,500. Direct 4,500 is the investment in 8% rupees 10 shares at rupees 15. Children, whenever a statement like this is given directly as 8% rupees 10 shares at rupees 15, it means 8% is dividend percent, 10 rupees is the face value and 15 rupees is the market value. Always read this as D% face value, market value. He sells the shares when the price rises to 30. Let me clean this off so that this line so that it is clear. Yeah. So he invests the shares when the price rises to rupees, he sells the shares when the price rises to rupees 30 and invests the proceeds in, so let me stop here. So what is this Vivek doing? He is selling the shares. Is it necessary that all of us remain in one company? There are times where you want to sell away your shares because you are in need of money, or you sell away the shares because the market value is very high and you speculate that the market value can't be higher than that. So that is when you want to take away your shares. So this Vivek also, he wants to sell his shares. Please understand that there is a difference between the selling price and the market value. So suppose between you and me, I am Vivek and you are the other person. So if I am Vivek, I am investing 4,500 in 8% rupees 10 shares at rupees 15. This is in one company X. Now, after a year or two, what I am doing? I am selling away my shares to someone, right? When I am selling my shares, I am selling away my shares to someone. The price which I am selling the shares will be my selling price. Okay, it is my selling price. And if some other person is buying, that is, if you are that person who is buying the shares from me, my selling price will be your market value, but you are not into the picture. Only the person who is doing the transaction is in the picture. So please differentiate between the selling price. Selling price is, yes, it is the market value, but it is not the market value for me. I am Vivek for today. So I am not selling, for me that selling price will not be the market value. It will be the market value for someone else. For me, it is the selling price. So if you differentiate between selling price and market value in sale proceed questions, that's the only small confusion among students about the selling price and market value. Again I am repeating, if I am Vivek and I am selling the price, my shares to someone, the price at which I sell the shares will be my selling price, and the price at which the other person is buying the shares will be the market value for that person. But that person is not into the picture. We are only going round and round for Vivek. What did he do? Where did he invest? And what did he do after he is buying the, selling the shares? So now I will read to the next part of the question. He sells the shares when the price rises to 30. So he is buying it for 15 rupees. Now the price has doubled. So he speculated that this is the right time for me to sell off my shares. So he is selling the shares for rupees 30 and invested the proceeds. Proceeds means the money that he gets. Sale proceeds. By selling the money he is getting, he is investing the proceeds in 12% rupees 100 shares at rupees 125. He is investing the proceeds in 12% rupees 100 shares at rupees 125. What does that mean? It means that the money he is getting by selling off his shares, all that money he is again investing in some other company. The first company was X, now he is investing in some other Y company. Now why? How is he buying the shares in that company? In 12%. Again children, if you read that line, 12% rupees 100 shares at rupees 125, which means the dividend percent given by this particular company is 12%. Rupees 100 is the face value and rupees 125 is the market value for the company Y. So we are considering Vivek in two companies. One is company X and one is company Y, but we will not mention X and Y. It is for you to understand. Is the question clear to you now? Now calculate the sale proceeds. Sale proceeds is nothing but the money he gets by selling off his shares. What is sale proceeds? The money he gets by selling off his shares. Okay. That's the first part of the question. The second part, the number of 125 shares he buys, that is rupees 125 shares, rupees is missing, the number of rupees 125 shares he buys. And the third one is the change in his annual income. What is? So he gets income from the first company, he gets also income from the second company. Why he gets income from the first company? Because he is waiting for a certain period of time. At the end of the period, after the company pays him the interest, that is when he is selling off his shares. So he gets income from the first company as well as from the second company. So understood? I hope you understood this clearly. So the first part of the sum is to do always for case 1. So let us consider it as case 1. So the data given here is for case 1 only. For the case 1, investment is 4,500, D percent is 8%, FV is 10 and MV is 15. So what will be the number of shares? Children, tell me, what will be the number of shares? Number of shares is investment by market value, which is 4,500 by market value, which is 15. That makes it 300. So the number of shares for the first company is how much? 300. Then what we should find? We should find D per share. So D per share is equal to 8 by 100 or 8% of 10. What will be 8% of 10, children? 8 by 100 into 10. 8 by 100 into 10 is what? 8 by 10, which is nothing but 4 by 5, and 4 by 5 is 0.8. Again I am laying stress on this. If you write it as 0.8, you will lose your mark. You should write it as 0.80. Okay. This is the D per share. Oh, by mistake there is a double this thing. Yeah, the cursor is here. It's only 1 point. So 0.80. So this is what? This is the dividend per share the first company pays to Vivek. So let's scroll up a little bit. Okay. Yeah. So this is D per share, and now we will find the annual income. Annual income is what, children? Annual income is equal to, what is the annual income? Number of shares 300 into D per share, which is 0.80. 30 into 8 or 3 into 8 is nothing but 224. So it becomes 240. This is the annual income. Now the sum does not end here. It is told that, it is given in the question that this particular person sells the shares when the price rises to 30 rupees, which means the SP is 30 rupees. So the sale proceeds is equal to the number of shares he holds in the company, that is 300 into the price at which he is selling 30, which makes it 9,000 rupees. So the sale proceeds is 9,000 rupees. Is this clear, children? Why is the sale proceeds 9,000 rupees? So the sale proceeds is equal to, this is not SP, okay, I will write it completely for you all because, oh, I picked up the, okay, highlighter, okay, pen. So the sale proceeds is equal to, as I have written earlier, once again in this page I am writing sale proceeds is equal to rupees 9,000. Sale proceeds is 9,000. Now this particular person, that is Vivek, is investing this 9,000 in some other company. So now for this other company, that is for case 2 of Vivek, his investment becomes 9,000 rupees. Face value is rupees 100. Market value is equal to 125 rupees. and the D percent, I guess it is 15%, let us check once, 12%, okay. So D percent is 12%. This is for case 2, this case 2 I will write it clearly, one second. So, yeah. So, for case 2, investment is 9,000, face value is 100, market value is 125. Now, the question asked is, what is the sale proceeds? We found the number of shares he buys in the rupees 125, number of rupees 125 shares he buys, or number of shares he buys in the second company. Any way it could be asked, that is the number is equal to 900, sorry I am saying continuously 900, 9,000 by 125, 9,000 by 125, which brings it to 72. And the D per share in this case, the D per share in this case will be what? 12%. I did not write D percent is 12%. Okay. D per share 12% of 100, which is 12 rupees. And annual income is number of shares 72 into D per share 12, which is equal to 864. So 864 is the annual income for Vivek in his second company. First company paid him an income of 240 rupees. The income from the first company was 240 rupees. The income from this company is 864. What is the change in his annual income? It is the difference of the two incomes, which is 864 minus 240, 664. So, see the solution. So, number of shares in the first case is 300, D percent dividend per share is rupees 0.80, annual income 240, sale proceeds 9,000, and then his investment in the second case. The sale proceeds become his investment in the second case. Face value is 100, market value is 125, D percent is 12%, number of shares I just did 72, D per share rupees 12, annual dividend 864. This last step I did not put it in working there. Annual income is 864 minus 240, which is 624. Hope this concept of sale proceeds is clear. There is only a thin line of difference between the market value and the selling price. If you get that, children, the rest of the sum is as good as the other sums. Just going round investment, market value, D per share, number of shares, annual income, rate of return. Do you find any other? Nothing. So, if anyone has any block that shares and dividend is, oh my God, I am unable to understand, please get off that block first. Sit with an open mind, listen carefully, then it will be super easy. Okay. So, let us continue with one more problem from the previous year. Okay. So, this is the third example that I picked. It is from the year 2013. So, in this question it is given that Salman buys rupees 50 shares of face value rupees 100 available at 132. Salman buys 50 shares, number of shares is 50, face value is 100, available at 132 means the market value today, if you want to buy shares in this company, it is 132. They are asking his investment. If the dividend is 7.5%, what will be his annual income? And if he wants to increase his annual income by 150 more, how many more extra shares he should buy? It's a simple straight question in this year, children, nothing great. So, this is the data given, number of shares 50, face value 100, market value 132, and D per share is 7.5%. So, first thing as usual, you have to find his investment. Investment is what? So, the data is here, we will scroll it up a little bit. Yeah. So investment is what? Investment is equal to number of shares 50 into 132. Number of shares 50 into 132 market value. So the investment becomes 6,600. Next you have to find D per share. D per share is equal to 7.5%. 7.5% of face value 100, which is 7.5 only. Now annual income is number of shares 50 into 7.5, 77.5, this point, okay, which is equal to 375. Now the last part of the question is, I'll just scroll down for you all to see the question once again. How many extra shares he should buy to increase his profit or his income by 150. So the extra shares he has to buy, children, there are two formulae for number of shares. Number of shares is investment by market value, also it is annual income by income per share. So now if his annual income is 150, so the extra shares will be equal to his annual income, it has to be increased by 150 by the income per share, which is 7.5, that is nothing but 20. So he needs to buy 20 more extra shares in this particular company if he wants to increase his income by 150 rupees more. Simple straight question, children. So I'll just show you all the solution. Yeah, this is the solution. Investment, his initial investment 6,600, which is nothing but number of shares into market value. D per share is 7.5, annual dividend is 375, and to get that 150 more as his annual income, he needs to buy 150 by 7.5. Okay, that's with this question. So let's start this sum. This is from the year 2011. In this question it is given that Mr. Parekh invested 52,000 on rupees 100 shares at a discount of 20, paying 8% dividend. From this first line, what is the data that you pick up? We pick up that the investment is 52,000 on rupees 100 shares, which means the face value is 100, at a discount of rupees 20, which means the market value is less than the face value, below par. Market value is 100 minus 20, which is 80 rupees, and paying 8% dividend. At the end of the year, just like Vivek in the previous question, he also sells the shares at a premium of 20. That means when the price of the share increased by 20 rupees when compared to its face value, he is selling off his shares. Find the annual dividend, the profit earned including his dividend. Okay. So let me scroll up a little bit. Yeah. So the first thing as usual is to find the number of shares. So the number of shares is equal to investment 52,000 by market value, which is 80 rupees, which if you cancel and simplify, you get 650 rupees. D per share. D per share is equal to D percent of face value, that is 8% of rupees 100, which is equal to 8 rupees. Annual income. Annual income will be 650 number of shares into D per share. 650 into 8 is 0, 0, 48 plus 4, 5,200. Now, again if you go back to the question and see, he is selling the shares at a premium of 20 rupees, which means the selling price of the share is 100 plus 20, which is 120 rupees. So what are the sale proceeds now? The sale proceeds will be equal to the number of shares he has. 650 into 120, which is 78,000. Now this is the money that he gets by selling his shares. But what is asked in the question? Again, if you go down and see, it is asked, okay, I am just scrolling in the wrong way. It is asked the profit earned including his dividend. How much profit is he making including the dividend? So he is investing 52,000. He, by selling away the shares, he is getting 78,000. So what is the extra money that he is getting? Obviously it is 78,000 minus 52,000. That's the profit earned. But they specifically mentioned including the dividend. Including the dividend means including this annual income value. So I am showing you the answer. So the profit earned is 78,000 minus 52,000 plus 5,200, which is 31,200. So see the complete solution. Number of shares in the first company. We are in this case the second company's details are not given. It is ending only with how much profit he has made. So number of shares is 650, dividend per share is 8 rupees, annual dividend or annual income 5,200, selling price is 120, and then the profit that he is making at the end of this transaction. So let's do this last sum for this video, for this lesson. Now in this question it is given, it's a 2004 question. It's given that Salman invests a sum of money in rupees 50 shares paying 15% dividend quoted at 20% premium. If the annual dividend is 600, calculate the number of shares he bought, his total investment and the rate of return on his investment. So what is the data given? It is given that he invests in rupees 50 shares, which means the face value is 50 rupees, paying 15% dividend, which means the dividend percent is 15%, quoted at 20% premium. Quoted at 20% premium means the selling price, the market value of the share is above par. The market value of the share is above par and it is a percentage. See children, observe, it's the second time in these 5 questions that we have picked where the premium is given as a percentage. So it's important to know how to change the premium percentage to value. Okay, annual income is 600, it's given as dividend, which is annual income, and you're asked to find the number of shares, his total investment and the rate of return on his investment. Now let's start. So we don't know investment. So how will you find the number of shares? We have to find the number of shares using the second formula. There are 2 formulas. Remember, number of shares is investment by market value. Also, it is annual income by income per share. In this case, we have to use the second one, which is annual income by income per share or dividend per share. Now, let's see whether we have both these. We have annual income, but do we have D per share? We do not have D per share. Then we have to find the D per share. How do we find this D per share? D per share is, okay, so D per share is D percent of FV. So D per share is D percent, 15% of FV, which is of 50 rupees. That is nothing but 7.50. Please ensure you write that 7.50. If you leave it at 7.5, especially when in this case where it is money, paise is always in 2 decimal places, children. Again, I am laying stress on this point. It will be an unnecessary thing to lose your marks at such points. So please ensure that you write 7.50 or 8.60, 0.80. The second decimal place should be written if it is not mentioned. So we found this D per share. Now what will be the number of shares? So the number of shares will be equal to annual income, that is 600, by the D per share, which is 7.50. If we simple, it becomes 6,000 or 6,000 by 75, and that comes to 80 shares. So the number of shares he bought is 80. Now they are asking to find his investment. What will be his investment, children? Tell me what will be his investment. I'll scroll up a little. Okay. His investment will be equal to the number of shares into market value. Investment is number of shares. How many shares we just found? 80 shares. And what is the market value? Did we find the market value? No, we did not find the market value. So what will be the market value? Now, the market value of this particular share is above premium. Above par. The market value, or at premium. The market value of this share is above par. So if the face value is 50, premium percent is 20%, the market value becomes what, children? It becomes 50 plus 20% of 50 plus 20% of 50. 50 plus 20% of 50 is nothing but 60 rupees. So the market value is 60 rupees and investment is equal to 80 into market value 60, which is equal to 4,800. Okay. The last thing is asked to find the rate of return. So in every sum, I think almost we have used this formula. That is, rate percent into market value 60 is equal to D percent 15% into face value 50. 0, 0 gets cancelled. So we have 75 by 6. 75 by 6 is 25 by 2, which is 12.5%. So this is the rate of return this person gets by investing in this company. It's very simple, straight question. So see the solution. So this is the solution. Wherever I have given the solution, if you want to make a note, you can pause the video there, see the solution, and then again go forward. So this comes to the end of this lesson, shares and dividend. So there are 3 videos for this lesson, shares and dividend. To get complete confidence in this lesson, watch all the 3 videos and practice few more sums. Okay. Maths can never be done by just seeing a YouTube video or listening to a lecture. Okay. Have you ever got learning a bicycle just seeing a YouTube video? You sit at home and play a video of how to ride a bicycle. Did you ever get to learn to ride a bicycle by just seeing a YouTube video? No, right? You were on the cycle, you fell down couple of times, again you went. All that we can give is that tricycle support. But you are the one who have to go forward. So unless and until you practice, maths cannot be achieved. Maths is a sport, children. The more you practice, the more it will be on your fingertips. Okay. So that comes to the end of this video on shares and dividend. I hope you liked it. If you have liked this video, please like, subscribe and share, and keep watching MathGuru. Stay blessed. See you back in the next video.